A Revit project is technically a database of all the drawings and information that you put into it. We view this data in the project browser in the form of plans and schedules and details and everything else that we draw. Over on the left-hand side, we have our project browser. And if you select on this little bar right here and just pull it down, we can start to see different views inside of it. If for some reason one of these is closed, much like how elevations and framing elevations here is closed, you can just click right here on the little plus and it'll expand out and you can see more views underneath each of these headings. Now, each one of these is technically a view of the Revit database. What that means is if you make a change in one spot in the Revit database, such as change in a column, it will automatically make that change in all the other spots in the Revit database, such as changing the way that column is displayed in the first floor view, or the way it might be displayed inside of the south elevation view. Just to kind of illustrate that just a little bit, if I double click here where it has this one first floor, I'm going to move over here and you can zoom in by just spinning the little wheel on your mouse. If you want to be able to zoom in right at that column, all you have to do is move your mouse over to it and then just move the wheel on your mouse so you zoom in. You can select on the column. You can see the properties associated with it. Well, I want to point out that if I now come over here to the project browser, click here, pull this down. Let's take a look at this now in the south elevation. So to get to that, you can just double click on south underneath elevations here. There's the same column. It's highlighted in blue as well. You can zoom in the same way by just moving your mouse over and then just spinning the wheel. And if we decide to come up here underneath properties and then click here, we could change this to be a different size. For instance, in this case, we'll change it to something that looks much different, like this W8 by 10. Click on that. See how it just got smaller here? If we come back here to our other view underneath the project browser and then double click here, it has first floor, we can see pretty much on the fly how it automatically updated in both views to reflect the change we made in one view. If we want to be able to change that back, and in this case we do, you can come back up here to properties again, click on it, come down, and just select this column size. It starts with the WWF. It's the only one of its type. You can see it automatically update here. And if we come back down to another view on the project browser, technically we could do this in section views or any other view that might happen to show it. We can then see that beam is now back to its original size and shape. The project browser contains various views of the Revit database. This database contains all the views and information in an RVT file, which can be opened, printed, and viewed by looking at its information in the project browser.